This is Ella, and you're listening to Frey. Starting right now, here's your host Alfredo Leon.
And thank you, Ella. This is indeed Frey, as we're going to talk about what happened yesterday in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race, as they held the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, with Kasey Kahne winning the Brickyard 400 for his first win at 102 races and his first win at the Brickyard in 14 tries. The driver of the 5-car for Hendrick Motorsports went under caution in a race that lasted more than 6 hours due to weather, and the race was supposed to start around 2:30, but it started much later than that due to the weather and the rain and stuff as well. The race finished when it was almost dark after 167 laps and double overtime, so there wasn't many more chances for there to be more restarts, especially as it got darker, because of the fact that Indianapolis Motor Speedway does not have lights there, so they can only run up to a certain point, and afterwards, because of darkness, they have to finish at a certain point, so there wouldn't be many more overtimes like there would be if there was a night race, or if it had lights so it could go as long as possible. So, and here is Kasey Kahne talking about what it was like to win at the Brickyard.
The career is big for sure. The history here, and to win at this track is unreal. We used to always be really close. Lost to Jeff, lost to Tony. Just such fast cars back then. And today the strategy got us here. This Farmers Insurance Chevrolet was great once I got out front. I just had to get there. I'm exhausted. I'm drained. I don't have any fluids in me, but unbelievable win. The team just kept working. Great pit stops. Thanks to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Farmers Insurance, Great Clips, Chevrolet has been huge to us. And yeah, to win at Indy is unbelievable. I wish my son Tanner was here.
Kahne also spoke about what it was like to make the pass on Brad Keselowski for the win.
The one before just didn't work. Everything went wrong. Final one, everything went right. And once I got to turn one, I had good power and I was able to clear him off one. I'm exhausted, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. I wish my little boy was here. I'd make it all.
He also spoke about what it was like to win at the Brickyard.
It feels good to win. It feels good to, everybody, these people that work so hard, it feels good to get them in victory lane and show that we can do it if things go our way.
Like Kahne said, he was exhausted afterwards because of all the hours that spent in the car, especially when drivers are in the car that long and when it's really hot. These drivers could have a tendency to become really exhausted, just like how it is when they run the 600 miles of the Coco 600. They have to take a lot of fluids. Guys like that have to be in shape in order to be able to blast that long. And Kasey Kahne, he works out and stuff. He's in great shape, so he's able to hold on and win, but he's exhausted afterwards. I needed a lot of fluids and stuff. These guys are drained when they drive so many hours in the car, and even though they had a couple of red flags, they still have to stay in their car, so that even though it wouldn't cool down or anything like that, the car didn't cool down. And even with fans and stuff like that, the car can still get hot and stuff, so these drivers deal with a lot during a race usually. And Brad Keselowski finished second. Kyle Busch and Mark Truex Jr. both crashed out with 49 laps to go, and had the fastest car at the time of the crash when they collided with each other, in turn, I believe it was a turn 1 or turn 3, and they both went into the wall. Kyle Busch went into the wall, and then Truex had damage to his car as well. They both were finished deep in the field because of that. And more crashes ended up occurring in the race as well later. And the last 20 laps ended up having 5 crashes, in which 2 of them brought up red flags, which had long delays as well due to cleanup and stuff. And a very crash-filled race indeed. And Busch was trying to win his third Brickyard 400 in a row, in which he led the first 71 laps and 87 overall. He would have had a chance to win had he not gotten that crash with Truex, and that's when both cars hit the wall when Truex's car slid up the track, and that was the end for their chances to win that race. That allowed Kahne to get a chance, who had struggled all season, and Kahne was able to overcome muscle cramps for his 18th career win as first his Atlanta in 2014. And he got a break when the caution came out because of a crash, and he was on pit road. He already made his pit stop, so he was able to get the lead, and he was able to pretty much hold it ever since. Even though Brad Keselowski had that one caution, one of the crashes, he ended up taking the lead, but Kahne was able to get it right back on that restart, one of the final restarts of the race, and he was able to pull away and get the win. Pretty much when that caution came out, the last one, just as Kasey Kahne crossed the line, the overtime line, to be able to grab the win. And the last lap was ended on the caution. And here's the rest of the top 10. As we said, Brad Keselowski finished second. Ryan Newman in a 31 car for Richard Childress Racing finished third. Joe Delgado, the 22 car for Team Penske, teammate for Bracken's last two times the two, finished fourth. Matt Kenseth for Joe Gibbs Racing in the 20 car finished fifth. Kevin Harvick finished sixth in the 4 car for Stewart House Racing. Daniel Suarez finished seventh for Joe Gibbs Racing in the 19 car, and Matthew Benedetto finished 8th, I believe, in the 32 car. Chris Buescher finished 9th in the 37 car. AJ Allmendinger finished 10th in the 47 car. And other notable finishes included Danica Patrick finishing 11th, Jimmy Johnson finishing 27th after a crash, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing 36th also after a crash. Jr. and Johnson were both involved in accidents, like I said, and Johnson was battling for a lead despite having an engine problem when he spun, and that pretty much was the end of his day there. In other news, before we get into that, good for Kasey Kahne, good for Kasey Kahne as he was able to finally win at the Brickyard and finally able to win in general, like for the first time since 2014. And he mentioned that his son was there. When he last won, when he won in Atlanta, his son was not even born yet, so that shows how long ago it was that he won. And this was big for him, especially with all the news and stuff about, especially after Junior announced his retirement, that the Matt Kenseth was replaced. So William Byron, like there would be another driver that would end up being replacing Junior at Andrew Motorsports, which would rather be Alex Bowman. But there was also talk maybe about Kasey Kahne, whether he had job security, especially with William Byron having success in the Xfinity Series when he won at Indianapolis the day prior. And it shows like how much talent he has, and Kahne had to pretty much step up and win eventually, so he could have some more job security at his ride. But this win definitely helps his case to be able to still be with Hendrick Motorsports, especially with the stardom that William Byron is going to be due to his domination right now in the Xfinity Series. Like I said, winning 3 races there as a rookie, showing like the success he showed in the Camping World Truck Series last year when he drove for Kyle Busch Motorsports, and that just shows the talent there. And Kasey Kahne was able to get that win to be able to make sure that he's still behind the wheel of the 5-car for Hendrick Motorsports. So that was big for him. In other news, Dale Jr., as I said, mentioned before, mentioning Dale Jr. in the race. But this was Dale Jr. will have a job next season, and it'll be for NBC. The agreement with NBC Universal will give Jr. to pursue a wide range of opportunities in the company's media businesses, including movies, television, podcasts, and other areas. And that was all in quotes from wide to areas in quotes. And he announced back in April that he'll retire at the end of the season because of the injuries he suffered in his career. He had 2 major accidents that caused him to miss the last 18 races of the last year after the crash last summer, and also missed time in 2012 because of concussion-like symptoms. And despite joining NBC, Jr. will still run 2 Xfinity Series races next year and will be involved in the sport in other ways when his broadcasting duties allow him. So he said before that he wanted to do broadcasting, so I'm not surprised that he's doing this. And he even said before that he wanted to drive, still was going to drive 2 Xfinity Series races, but you still got to see him around, Junior fans. Like I said, the last one, show, he said he was going to continue to be around the sport. He's just not going to really be driving anymore. But this is an opportunity that could keep him pretty busy. Fans will be seeing a lot of Junior on TV and stuff because of the opportunity that he has because of how popular he is. He'll still be around the sport. It just won't be driving that much anymore besides Xfinity. So this is a good opportunity for him. As he's done stuff on TV before. He's done back in the day with the Speed back when he usually talks about old races. He's done that on NBC as well. And FS1 talks about old races, and they show highlights of the races, including stats and stuff of that race that day and other stuff that occurred those years of the races in pop culture and stuff during the time of those races. So yeah, do good for Junior as he'll be definitely having some success in this role. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and have a great day, and peace.